Hi, I'm Richard Evans from PADI Asia Pacific. I handle the quality and risk management processes here in the AP office. Recently, the Queensland Government introduced changes to the Queensland Code of Practice in relation to diving activities. One of the most important changes was the removal of the requirement for all entry-level divers to obtain a dive medical. Now, the changes mean that entry-level divers must complete a medical declaration, and if there are any yes answers, then they must obtain a medical. It also requires divers over 45 years of age to obtain a dive medical for the entry-level course. It also requires that persons with a BMI over 30 and a waist size greater than 102 centimeters for men and 88 centimeters for women, that group must also obtain a medical for the entry-level course. Now, it's important to note that PADI's been involved in this review and revision process since the inception of the Code of Practice decades ago. For many years, PADI CEO Drew Richardson has attended the SPUMS conferences and on a number of occasions has presented papers recommending the removal of the requirement for entry-level medicals. About 18 months ago, the Queensland Government Workplace Health and Safety invited all of the dive operators and the training agencies to a meeting in Queensland, and then a series of meetings after that initial meeting in Cairns. At the Cairns meeting, the first meeting of that series, PADI recommended that dive medicals be removed from the Code of Practice as a requirement. And to support that request, we presented statistics that Drew had done in a study of 20 years of diving fatalities worldwide. And those statistics today are still the largest and the most accurate body of diving fatalities statistics. And it certainly carried substantial weight in supporting our views that a dive medical was not an effective screening tool. Now, this meeting was the start of that process. The meeting in Cairns was the start of that process that culminates in the changes that we're talking about today. We'd like to thank Drew for his support over the years in this matter. We'd also like to thank the Queensland Government, specifically Workplace Health and Safety, for their willingness to review the code and change it. But I'd also like to thank the dive operators who attended those series of meetings and supported the changes to the code. Now, for the rest of Australia, nothing has really changed. Safe Work Australia has still not introduced the Code of Practice for diving activities, but we do know that the regulations that were introduced January 1st, 2012 do not require entry-level medicals for the entry-level course. Now, as to PADI, we're aware that PADI does not require dive medicals for any courses. We, like ISO and RSTC, only require the medical declarations be filled out for any course undertaken, and if a yes answer is identified, that person has to get a dive medical. Now, there are other changes to the code, and you can review the change of the entire code on the Queensland Workplace Health and Safety website or at the website address identified below. Thank you very much for reviewing this information, and please feel free to contact me if you have any questions. That's at richard.evans@padi.com.au.